The Rebbe continues the summary, as it were. Obviously, it's not a summary, simply. It's Amshach, and there's also Pasha Chidushim and nuances always in the quote unquote summary. B'Hamshach HaMaimer, Mvai B'Hamshach HaMaimer, Sheklos Haveda Lahafechis Hasheka Oilom Liyos Kroshim Lemishkan Leizbarech. So how do we transform the lie of the world to be the home for the Eibush? The Nasa said they've been a Yisrael. It's done by Yidden, and they are called Tzivus Havaya, and that's how they were termed for the first time by Yetzias Mitzrayim, which was the beginning in the Achronet, the Matan Torah, and the Mishkan, to an Hemshech. So when you said, "In Shleimus Havayda, Beifen Shal Avdos," Shleimus Havayda is Avdos, Hashem's servant. Moishe Rabbeinu, show you Eved Nemar, the pasuk describes him as Hashem's faithful servant. Vad show you Gam Milas Eved Poshut. He even had the mile of the Eved Poshut, who had the mile of both, of the Eved that understands and appreciates what he's doing and what the kavan is, and the Eved Poshut that's simply devoted to the master's will, and nothing more is required. He had both milas. It explains the Samachvav. So overall, what's the Eved? The Aved of the Eved is P'chinas Mesiras Nefesh. Yes, okay, and moreover, she sold him Bonim Lavin Shabashamayim. There's also the Aved of Ben. We are children. Aveda Saben Avod Avi Vagam Kim P'chinas Mesiras Nefesh. A child's devotion to the father is also Mesiras Nefesh. On the contrary, David even more because he is mamash a part of him. It says in Zohar, and is by Betani explained in Tanya, Kibra, like his son, the Shtadl Basar Avoying, that will try. His father's in captivity. For his father, Yatim Megarmei, more than he'll do so for himself, or Masar Gamei, he'll give himself over to redeem his father. And therefore, this is why the Aved is done by Yidden. What are they called? What's the matzib of the Yid? Because this is the Mesiras Nefesh, Eved, the soldier. Because this Aved is Mesiras Nefesh. That's how this goal is going to be achieved, which is the goal. V'lochi nasis that tivus havai, therefore it's done through dafka tivus havai shinyoni shel tzovim mesiras nefesh. The end of a soldier, army is mesiras nefesh.
We just said the ben is also mesiras nefesh.
The what?
We just said the ben is also mesiras nefesh, and we're saying that's why we use this example of tzivos from mesiras nefesh.
Yeah, because you're asking or you're making a statement. You're asking a question.
I'm asking.
So the answer is because in the ben you don't see mesiras nefesh necessarily. You see ava. It's only if it comes to an Indian, then the mesiras nefesh comes out. But derech klal, it's ava and so on, close and kiruv. But the whole union of the tzava, the chatchila is all avdas mesiras nefesh, every step of it. So that's why overall it's tzivus havai. But in that you have the ma'ila of Eved Nemon and Ben. They're all sublimated in the Aveda of the Tzova. Yeah? You answered your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Mamshech Levaya, Klolo saying in the Tzivus Havaya. So what's Tzivus Havaya? Api Moshel, Mitzvah, Shemelech Basavadam. From a Moshel of an earthly army. Shebeshvil Nitzachna Milchama. In order to achieve victory, so the king will open even the most treasured, precious treasures. All the treasures that he amassed, and his forebearers, precious. What b'chines Yokim b'kol Yokim, precious above all precious. V'gnuzim uchmusim ein kol is a dargis. V'gnuzim uchmusim ein kol roya, and they are put away and hidden from the eye of any viewer. Not only has it not and never is used for anything, doesn't even show them to the view of others.
So what's he doing with them? You're saying the word squandering. He's taking it and giving it to people, or so what's the benefit what benefit? You tell me he's buying arms. What exactly is he doing?
That's what it means.
What's he doing? What's he doing with the paintings or the gold or the silver that's put it away?
In the marshal, it's used to buy whatever arms. That's in the marshal. That's in the marshal talk. But in the nimshal, the oitzer itself, which is not, that doesn't go in the nimshal, that part. That part is not masim. But the Indian, that these treasures are now used to provide the armory and the weapons. Remember, it does kind of a little bit fit in the nimshal, because what is it that he wants in the nimshal is what is a skafia in dealing with the yitzhar and kol many. They're not the oiters. And the means by which you're going to defeat the yitzhar. But what's the actual? They fuel, they inspire the defeat. But what's the defeat? Defeat's the gun. The gun. What's the defeat? The defeat is that shtickle is skafia. And that little iskafia be'emes, compared to the oitzer, is like what? But that's what it takes. It's what it takes. And the whole Maimon is going to explain that's because why in the iskafia, and that the previous Maimon at least, in the iskafia dealing with the helam of the world, that's the kavanas atzmos, that's stuck of the whole thing. Stuck of the whole thing. So continuing, in Bishvil Nitzoach HaMilchama, so to achieve victory, Bevazvas HaMelech, so Eitzeres, he squanders them. V'noisen oisam l'anshei achayim. He gives mamish the Eitzeres. Again, that's the Keicha Atzmi that's invested Dafkin Helam. That was the whole Nakud of the previous Maimon. The Maila din Ketz. V'agam shenisin Eitzer l'anshei achayim, the Apkid Achayim. Even though he doesn't give it directly to them, he gives it to the officers. These are the Rabbi, who are the repositories of Chassidus, and so on. It's the Pekidi Achel, Mekomokim, Tachlatz Kavanahu, but what's the intent? Shegi Oitze, the Anshe Achayel, Imdim B'Mechamba, they should reach the soldiers in the throes of the battle. Kadei Sheyuchlen Etzech B'Mechamba, all in order he should be victorious. It's also implying that his Melchama is not the Melchama of the Pekidi Achayel, that the Pekidi Achayel are not struggling with his Yetzer Hara. They don't have a Melchama altogether. But so they get it in order to give it over to the Anshe Achayel. And because the soldiers are struggling, so they're struggling too. They're with him. And so in light of the Moshel, understand the Nimshal. K'mayim, as the statement, he's quoting it from Tanya. Whatever is down here devolves from above. Shabishvil nitzach milchama, in order to achieve victory, and now he touches the word victory, meloshan eternity, as the pasuk says, not with Shmuel. Netzach Yisrael lo yishaker, the eternal one of Israel will not express falsehood. This is when Shaul was pleading to get the monarchy back. And Shmuel told him, "You've lost it." So there, the Lashon, it refers to the Eibush as Netzach Yisrael, the eternal one of Israel, and that's also Nitzachim. That's what Nitzachon is. Nitzachon is at all costs. There's no stopping. It's forever, till the finish line. True Nitzachon doesn't have a limit. Nitzachon, Nitzachon is staying power. You stay in it until the job is done. There's no turning back. So Mevazos in Meskol Oitzer Shalamayla, so for this we squander all the Oitzeres. The Melech squanders it. When gives it to the soldiers through the officers. It's explained elsewhere. What is this Oitzer? So here he says now as follows. The Gemara says, what is Hashem's treasure? That he has to, a treasure is something that you have to get, right? God has everything. So what is it that needs to get? The answer right there, no? That's the treasure. Which is what is needed for Iskafia. To overcome the Yitzhahar and Iskafia and Yiras Shamayim. It's all one union. So the simple touch is that we give the Eibush to that. Gentlemen, you're listening. That we give this to the Eibush, but he's saying deeper here that Gufa is his gift to us, this Eitzah. That everything is in the hands of heaven except for Yiras Shamayim. So the simple pshat is that we give that treasure to God. The whole point of the Mayim is that God, the Melech is giving the treasure to the Jew. The answer is that this koyach gufa is the Eibishter's Eitzah. It's hidden within him. What reveals the Eitzah within him is when we're going to use it.
Is it before or after?
Simple language. The Eitzah means nothing to him if we don't use it. So what is Eitzah? When is it an Eitzah by the Eibishter? When the Yid will use the koyach of Yiras Shamayim and Iskafia. Then it becomes his Eitzah. So we do give it to him, but the koyach comes from us. Until we actualize it, it's meaningless to him.
Koyach comes from him. Koyach comes from
The Eitzah is his, but it means it's meaningless. It is absolutely meaningless until we use it. Then the Eitzah becomes his Eitzah.
Is it an Asinas Koyach or an Isusa de La'ela?
Both, everything. Mainly in the Sinas Koyach. So the Susa de La'ela is from Zman Lezman. It's a special thing. It's in the Sinas Koyach that every Jew has. It's embedded. In order for what? To win the war. It's in all generations, this is true, but he's saying, in the final generation, the final Milchama, this is given in a way, in an unprecedented way. It's given over. It's partially given over. To the soldier, that are in the throes of the battle. Mishkan and Mikdash Le'Yizbarach. And what's the whole battle to make this Mishkan? We have to remember that, even though that we're saying here, this is true throughout all generations. This is the whole Avodah. But what's he saying? He's saying that when it comes to the final Milchama, gentlemen, let's not get distracted. Not to lose focus here, gentlemen. That the whole point here that this is Dafka Deir Hashvi gets this koyach in a way that no previous generations did. First of all, we have nisyonis that no previous generations did. Right in your hand, your phone and bechula, etc. The free world that we live in. It's a fact. It's a fact that a child, anybody faces nisyonis today, they have no substance, but they're there. They're there. They really have no substance. It's a little bit of Yiras Shamayim, but that little bit of Yiras Shamayim, that's a treasure, and that's given to our generation. The Matzav in Eretz Yisrael, all that's required is hold your ground and respect yourself. That's it. That's all that's needed. The Trump will respect you, and the Goy, and the Arab, and everybody. It's all you got to do. It's such a small thing. Don't compromise. Respect yourself. Hold your ground. And keep your head high. Al yevish v'pnei maligim. Just don't be embarrassed. That's the opening statement of the Shulchan Aruch. Don't be embarrassed with who you are. And you're right to be there. You're a yid, not yourself. Say so. God gave. That's all that's needed. Gewaltig geschrien. And yet, it's how difficult it is. Cannot say it. Please love me and compromise. And you see how big the milchama is. But this oitzer is given. It's Yerushalayim. You hold your ground. I'm a yid. It's not mine to negotiate. This is God's. He gave it to me. This is what Yerushalayim is. God's word, the Abish's word, holds the day, and that's it. And you see how difficult it is. It's a pillar. You're going to look back. We're all going to look back at all of our struggles and say, how ridiculous. I gave into this with myself. A little bit of iskafia, just a little bit of it. The Sheikh comes, so the tzaddikim will cry, the Yitzhara, they'll see the Yitzhara slain. And the Rishonim will cry, the tzaddikim will see, God, such a mountain, Gewalt. How did I overcome this? Thank God, almost. And the Rishonim look at it and say, it's a like a chut aside, a little thread. How did I give into this? What was I thinking? Yesh lahoisiv, yeah. Oh. And I was saying this now. We said before, that since Matan Torah, it's applicable. But the Pratis Yosef, but Dorotik is the Mashiach in our generation, on the heels of Mashiach. Is that a bit says it? No. Didn't you do a Shavit? There's some Messiah that gives the Mashiach. The Messiah Nevesh of our generation, but take of Yosef is more intense than the Shionis, etc. The whole world. That Moishe was humble in the face of all the people, on the face of the world, says in Chassidus and the Kama Mekoimes, who was he humbled by? Our generation. The Shionis of this generation, first of all, after the big Nisoyan, after the Holocaust, how could you believe that there's an Eibishter? And in free America, who needs an Eibishter? Where is God? And then who needs God? No generation had that like this.
Did you see Michael Savage? Michael Savage and Tucker Carlson?
Michael Savage, no, was doctor.
And it's his first show, and he said,
when? This recently?
Yesterday. With
No.
Tucker Carlson, who's been very...
Who's Tucker Carlson?
It's like a right wing, but he's very borderline anti-Semite, whatever. So he said he knows a lot of Reform Jews, and he's like, they don't exist anymore. Everyone's Chabad.
Who said that?
Tucker Carlson. He's like a big right wing commentator.
What do you mean to say? If you're Jewish today, that's it. You're in. You're out.
You're Chabad.
No. I mean, Bepinimis, that's true. Everybody is Moller Deus Hashem, yeah. Okay. No, yeah, Machmas HaMesiras Nefesh Shalahem, because Moshe was in awe of the Mesiras Nefesh, Imdim B'toikev. Look what his Rebbe says here. That they stand B'toikev B'fnei Kol HaManiyas HaVayikuvim, all of the obstacles and the obstructions, Ubefrat B'fnei HaMaligim, the mockers. The scoffer, he doesn't do anything, he just makes fun of you. So that's not, it has no real substance, but it's a real Messiah. Stand up and be proud. And what's the Messiah? Which is the beginning of the Shulchan Aruch, the Tur, adds that. And the Ramah adds that to the Shulchan Aruch. Not to be embarrassed before the. So it comes down to. I mean, it's very deep because covered. You touched on this in your what? I'll call covered chuppah in your Chasen Maimer. Of covered and malchus. At the end of the day, dignity, self-worth one sovereign value that's covered. It's not a tangible thing. It leads to tangible. It's a perception and attitude and the way you stand. It's a very deep covered. Self-respect is it's very external. You get respect, not respect. But it's how someone views you, doesn't view you.
It's more than ego.
It's your sovereign value covered, which is that's the point of the maamre there. It's makiv, it's chitzonius, but be'emes, it expresses the atzmius, your sovereign value as a human being. Sovereignty, your shtel, and the aristocracy of every Jew, the dignity, they're intangibles, but they express the etzem. All it needs is holding your head up high, being a proud Jew, and everything it goes along with that, and the whole golus is over. Mamish is what it comes down to. But it's a terrible Nisoya. Because you know why it's such a big Nisoya? Because you have to assert that you're different. Now it's very difficult. I want to blend in. Please love me. Because of the deep fear that if I'm going to say I'm different, then for sure you're going to reject me. That's been the whole attitude of the whole 75 years. We're just the same, like you, like Jillian. We've been pushing that agenda. We're pushing that agenda. Now it's hitting us in the face. So they're not buying it. You're not the same. We don't treat you. We don't treat you by any of the rules that govern the rest of the world. None of them apply to the Jew. So it's time we got the message. Hey, they're right. You know what? They don't. So let's embrace that. We're a clever people. What's going on? But you see how big the Nisayan is. Desperate to be popular, desperate to be accepted. The politician sells his soul for that. It's a big Nisayan. It's foolish because at the end you're respected when you hold your ground. That takes a bit of courage. Concluding but number 31 in the text, yeah? So it's dafka through our Avodah, the last generation. We complete the whole shlichus. Now we complete and make this world a mikdash for the Eibishter. Vasi the mikdash, v'shachanti b'seichel, make for me a mikdash and I'll dwell amongst you, says Hashem. Kefishi yiyeh beis hamikdash asher shlishi, as it will culminate in the third beis hamikdash, which goes of a Rambam, and the Rambam says it's all one hemshech. Shemitzvah asiyas kol bota mikdashes. That the commandment to build all the but it's not separate tzivuyim commandments. It's all one commandment because it's one shlichus, it's one purpose. Period. It's all learned from the one pasuk. Vasili mikdash, make for me a mikdash shenema, which was said by Mishkan Shasa Moishe Rabbeinu, which Moishe Rabbeinu. And so therefore that template remains enduringly, and it's all one hemshech. The Rambam continues. The future building. He says the Rambam that it's written in Yecheskel. It's not explicit. When they built the second Beis Hamikdash, they built it similar to the first, and similar to that which is explicit in Yecheskel. So even the third Beis, he's saying that the second Beis Hamikdash already incorporates the third. You see, it's all one hemshech. The second already had elements of the third. And the third one is the true, eternal Bais, the Yosei, Bais Nitzchi, because it will be eternal. Therefore, it's the true Beis Hamikdash. It's in the culmination, therefore, of the whole Tzivu is the third Beis Hamikdash. Al derech v'mekolshkein v'kavachayim mikdash asa Moishe, similar and how much more so from the mikdash that Moishe made. Because the whole Moishe, the Moishe Nitzchim. Whatever Moishe does is eternal. So therefore, likewise, the Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi is eternal, but what's the Mikol Shkein? The Payal, not sure the Pshat here actually, but the Payal, the Mishkan, the Moshe made to build is not manifestedly last eternally. It's still around, but we don't see it. But then it's going to be manifested, the third Beis Hamikdash manifestedly eternal. So I'm going to think this through, but here, what he's saying. And he's not finished it. Right? Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi, Yibana b'mheid b'meinu mamish. Okay, conclude. So the third Beis Hamikdash that's going to be built very soon is al yidei ma'aseinu v'avedeseinu dara gvisik the Mashiach throughout Aveda of the final generation. And what's Avedosam be? What's that Aveda mitech Mesiras Nefesh? So the general Kudah here is he's all saying that it's one. Now it's all to explain why you'll be looking at the Mishkan to get our clues and instructions as to what the Aved is. The general answer is because it's one hemshech which culminates in Beis Hamikdash HaShlishi, which comes from Mesiras Nefesh, but the template is the details, the kroshim and the atzishitim and the korbanos and so on. All the details he speaks about in the Maimer that applied, many of them specifically to the Mishkan, but that's nitzchi and it's one hemshech and one mitzvah. That's the general idea, but there's nuance I think I'm missing. We'll look at this again. Let's continue. Sorry. So this is everything. The faithful servant and the faithful child, the Evet Poshet and the simple Evet, all of the milas. That's what it means to be a soldier. A Jewish soldier. Therefore, this treasure, which is precious above all preciousness, since it's to achieve the final victory, so who is it given to? It's given specifically to the final generation, the heels of Mashiach that will bring about the final victory. Yeah, so b'chlolos, we get the point. A little further. We need to point someone to daven today. Can you daven today? No. Aaron? No. Okay, maybe we'll stop here.